We are studying Clean by Natalie Grant. It's a great worship song. It is ministered to many people, and I hope that you will be using it in your church or worship service for the very same purpose. I know you will be. We're going to present it today in the original key that she sings it in, which is actually the key of F sharp. Now, that's not a key you often find in worship, so I think that's kind of unique. It suits her voice very well. So we're going to go with that for today. Let's work through the chords first. So in the verse, you have a repetitive pattern. The first set of words is I see shattered, you see whole. And the chords here are going to be D sharp minor, B, F sharp, and then A sharp minor. So let's spell this in the easiest way possible for the right hand. D sharp minor, I'm going to spell it as A sharp, D sharp, F sharp. Whew, that's a lot of sharps. Okay, now if I put it in that position, then when I go to the B chord, all I need to do is shift the thumb from A sharp to B, and then I have B, D sharp, F sharp. Two chords really for the price of one. So I see shattered, you see, so that gives you that first two chords. All right, when you go to whole, we're gonna stick right in that same position. We'll do A, C sharp, make sure there's a C sharp and F sharp on the top. So we're lingering around that F sharp repeating at the top, and then we're kind of alternating between this A sharp and C sharp, all within those sharp keys right there. So F sharp chord again, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp. And then to make that A sharp minor the last chord of the pattern, we're simply going to change the F sharp to E sharp. Now some of you might go, that looks just like F. It sure does. You can call it F if you need to. Technically in the key of F sharp, it would be called E sharp right here. All right, so that whole pattern as one unit now. D sharp minor, thumb slides up to the B, that makes the B chord. A sharp, C sharp, F sharp, and then bring that pinky down if you want to the E sharp, or you can use a fourth finger, whatever fits you best. Okay, so that'll take us through the first three lines of the chorus like this. I see shattered, you see whole, I see broken. Also, it's all repetitive. You're exactly the same chords, the same positions. And you're helping me to believe. All right, last line, we're going to go to a B chord, so we've already discussed how to find that quickly. You're restoring me. I'm just going to walk straight up there to a C sharp chord, B, D, F sharp, going forward, C sharp, E sharp, G sharp. If you're not really too fond of sharps, you could think of that as a D flat chord. It really doesn't matter as long as you play the right notes. So you're restoring me. There's your C sharp, piece by piece, F sharp major back to that A sharp minor. So really you didn't introduce anything new except for this is the C sharp chord. Everything else was a repeat. That is both the first and the second verse. That would be my recommendation for finding the easiest chord positions for the right hand. On the verse we go straight back to that B chord on the chorus, and then C sharp. So that repeats on every line of the chorus. There's nothing too dirty, all right, that you can't make worthy. So the end of that, B, C sharp, and the last two chords return, F sharp and A sharp minor. So again, we're just making repetitions of the chords we did in the first verse. Isn't that nice? You get to recycle. And then you put the words with it. There's nothing too dirty, B chord, C sharp, you can't make worthy, A sharp minor, wash me in mercy, and C sharp. Okay, now the end of that second line, we go to the D sharp minor. You wash me in mercy, B chord, C sharp chord, and then we'll move up one more time. So we're just walking at B chord, C sharp, D sharp chord is spelled D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, or E flat, G flat, B flat if you prefer. Clean. All right, and then the rest of that chorus, again you repeat, there's nothing too dirty, B to C sharp, you can't make worthy, F sharp to A sharp, and then we go back, you wash me in mercy, I am clean. So pretty much everything is B, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp minor. And then the one time it changes is on the second line on I am clean. You go to D sharp minor there. Okay, so that leaves us, we've talked about the verses in the chorus and the verses, and that leaves us the chords in the bridge. You're probably going to guess by now, and you'd be right if you did. We're right back on that B chord. Washed in the blood to your C sharp chord. And yeah, you guessed it, F sharp chord to A sharp minor. So that's the first part. Washed in the blood of your sacrifice. Your blood flowed red and made me white. F sharp to A sharp minor. Go back to B. My dirty rags are purified. I'm clean. We'll just end on that F sharp, that home chord there. Okay, so let's just have a brief discussion about what you can do to add some fills. As you've probably already noticed or observed listening to the original recording, there's not a huge amount of space that we're going to do a ton of fill-ins. This is a very worshipful, kind of slow-moving, meditative song, so you don't want a lot of huge busy hands and great big, dashing fills. It's really not the mood for that. There's a few little things you might consider, but it'll really kind of be up to you and what you're trying to create. Some students that I've worked with have found a nice walking bass line in a few of the chords. So for example, the verse here, you could walk down from D sharp to C sharp and then land on the B. I see shattered, you see whole. You could walk up. So that's a simple thing you could do that would give you a little bit, especially if you don't have that bass player in the band. That might give you a little something. Mostly on the first verse, I try to play very quietly and without a lot of motion, especially if you have a soloist opening, which is the typical way. I see shattered, you see whole. Yeah, I see broken, but you see beautiful. So sometimes on the end of the line, I kind of go up in the right hand and do a fill somewhere in the sharps. I mean, it's pretty much any sharp would fit. So like, I see broken, but I hit the F sharp chord and then I just did A sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then hit that chord, A sharp minor. And you're helping me to believe, same pattern. So that's just a little melodic fill to do something there with that time and make it sound pretty without overtaking the beauty of what the soloist is singing. On the last line, and really the last two lines, helping me, we start building the rhythm here to believe. You can bring in your drummer here with a little more of a steady beat. You're restoring me piece by piece. So you notice my thumb is kind of hammering out, you're restoring me piece by piece. So that's one option, is to do a split power chord. Or you could simply alternate hands, you're restoring me piece by piece. Whatever fits you best, but that kind of gives a signal to your band, to your singers, or moving forward to the chorus, bringing everybody in to sing now. So on the chorus, there's nothing too dirty that you can make worthy. I like to kind of spell out that melody, worthy. So A sharp, G sharp, F, and doubling that with the C sharp on the bottom. Dirty that you can make worthy. You can even do a walk up in the bass, so you get F sharp over going to the A sharp minor, which is in the chord progression. You wash me in mercy, and then right here I do a fill clean. So I go, if you break that down as F sharp, F, or E sharp, and then G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. It's hard to say it with all those sharps in there, it's easier just to watch it. And then what I do is have the thumb kind of do a drone so that it plays with every note above it. So just to provide a little bit of rhythmic emphasis there. If it's too much for you, you could just simplify it and do the one note. That works. So whatever fits your hand, it's just a suggestion. So I am clean. it fills in that time. There is kind of a dead spot I found there, especially if you're playing alone. So that might be an idea. You wash me in mercy, I am clean. There's nothing too dirty, you can't make worthy. You wash me in mercy. Again, using those sharps, wash me in mercy. Sometimes we'll do an interlude here between the chorus. You play the first line of the verse as an interlude, and then the singer comes in, I see you shattered. So that'll kind of be up to your worship leader how you handle that. Okay, going from the chorus into the bridge is the last spot. We can talk about some possible fills. So I'm going to play the last line of the chorus, you wash me in mercy, I am clean, straight into the bridge. So you wash me in mercy, and I am clean. Washed in the blood of your sacrifice, your blood flowed red and made me white. My dirty rags are purified, I'm clean. Washed in. So one of the things that I like to do, especially if you've sang the bridge or sung the bridge several times, and kind of maybe softly if that's what your church likes to do, and then when you really get to that build, I like to do kind of a cut here on the accompaniment part. So washed in the blood of your sacrifice. So I just hit on the beat, washed in the blood of your sacrifice. So I let the left hand kind of pump it up. Together, left hand here, and then open the right hand to an octave C sharp. Okay, without me talking. Washed to the blood of your blood flowed red and made me white. You could do something up an octave just to put a little splash of color. My dirty, same thing as the first line, and I'm clean. So that's really kind of the most pumped version you would do of the bridge, the most built up, if you want to call it that. When you come into it, you might decide to do it softer from the chorus. And I am clean. Maybe if you start soft, washed in the blood of your sacrifice. The left hand could do just a simple broken chord, washed in the blood of your sacrifice. So you feel rhythm, but it's not too harsh. So that gives you more of a flowing feel, so that you don't feel such a punch. And then after you build it, you could do the one I suggested for more of a building effect. All right, so I hope that gives you some ideas. This is an absolutely beautiful worship song. I hope that you go out and play it, enjoy it, share the love of Jesus with everybody you meet. Enjoy.